Sorry, the alarm went off. So Mia got out of going down to Florida again. The boss indicated that, yeah, I might need you on Friday to do some running around, last minute running around before we go down. She goes, you know what? I'm taking Friday off. The Amish Mafia is going to be down there for a week, next week, another week. So she has off that week as well. So she's got 2 weeks off. And the boss wanted to know why she needed that Friday off. And she said, because I'm going to spend the next several days up at the lake house doing some remodeling. This is the first that the Amish Mafia heard anything about a lake house. So right away they're like, lake house? What are you talking about? You have a lake house? And she said, no, my fiance does. And I'll be moving up there. It's the first these people have heard about this. She's lobbing in the mortars right now. So he apparently said, what? You're moving up there? Are you still going to be driving for us? And she said, well, I certainly am not going to drive almost 2 hours one way to come down here and drive for you. That's nowhere near worth it for me. I mean, from where the lake house is to where she has to actually show up at the farm to punch in and start driving, it's a solid 2-hour run. He's like, oh, when do you plan on doing this? She said, soon. Don't know yet for sure. But more than likely by midsummer, mid to late summer. So we got to look for another driver? Quite possibly, she said. I guess it was a pretty quiet ride home from that point forward. These people, my impression, I don't know any Amish people. So I'm just saying this all AST, based on intel that I'm hearing from Mia. These people exploit other people. They take advantage of them. They use them. They have unrealistic expectations. If you're a driver for them, it's like being a driver for the Costa Nostra. They expect you to be on call 24/7, Monday through Friday, and weekends. Yeah. So this guy got a little dose of what Mia is thinking about for her future. That's a pretty big step. Now she's really into this job, even though it doesn't pay anything right now. She's getting effed over. That's why I say these people are users and whatnot. They know the rules. They know that other drivers in the empire get paid $200 a day plus per diem and whatnot. They're fully aware. They just think that Mia isn't aware. Well, she got talking at one of these funerals or weddings that she was at. They People show up at these things from all over the nation. And one of the other drivers came over to the driver pool parking area, was hanging out with the other drivers, and they all got to talking. And she found out what the pay rate is for an Amish driver. It averages $200 a day. That's pretty damn good money. Plus, if you take your own vehicle, you get 41 cents a mile. If you're out of town, they'll put gas in the vehicle, and they'll pay your hotel room and your food. Other Amish crews will do this. That's a pretty sweet gig. Mia's getting $50 a day. Yeah. Gas in her truck if she has to use her own truck for something. But they're not paying her 41 cents a mile. They do pay her hotel rooms and her meals if she's out with them on a long trip. But then apparently there's days like yesterday where she doesn't even get a meal. If she wanted to eat, she should have brown bagged it. Yeah, she's pissed. So, what she plans on doing is going up to the lake house probably Thursday or Friday. She's going to bring along an air mattress, some stuff, clothes, whatever. And she is going to be purchasing the paint and painting supplies. She's going to bring up cleaning supplies. And she is going to start crack-a-lacking on painting all the upper bedrooms in that house. She's going to camp out, her and little bitters, going to camp out and start the process of remodeling that house. Yep. That's my girl. That's my girl. There's one less thing on the list I got to do. But, and she'll stay there through the weekend while I'm here working on this. She'll stay there into next week. Yeah, she'll be there, living there for a couple of days. The DDC better not get a wild hair up her nose to go up there for any sort of reason. Mia will kick her ass. Mia is a card-carrying, license-carrying, concealed carry cowgirl. Tough chick. Yeah. Mia has claimed the lake house as her own. And now she's putting in the work to contribute to the cause. And she's made the decision. If you think about it, this is a big decision for her. This is big. Not only has she given up the Amish Mafia, which she has become attached to. She's part of the family. She's been accepted into the Costa Nostra of the Amish Mafia, where she's invited in to the houses to sit at the table and share dinner with the family. That doesn't happen. So she's in like Flint. So there's that situationship that she's going to be giving up. Her neighbor family next door, her best friend here in this region, since she's moved here from Florida, the neighbor family, she's giving them up by selling her house and moving up with me into the lake house. Her across the alley friend, Miss Mary, she's giving that up. I'm sure she has other friends throughout the billiard community that she shoots billiards with. She'll be giving them up. Because she's not going to be making a 2-hour trek one way to go hang out for the day with these people. If they want to make a 2-hour trek and come up to the lake house to hang out with her, that's fine. But I'm sure she will not be making the effort to go see them. So she's been, ever since she got back with me, in touch with me, and this was at Christmas, this past Christmas. Let's reiterate how this happened. She had me blocked for a while. I tried to reach out and communicate with her after she abandoned me and decided to start taking care of the troubled grandson. She locked and blocked me. I couldn't get through because she had to focus on that, right? 24/7. Focus on the grandson. After the grandson was up here for a little while, realized that grandma was pretty restrictive, disciplinary, regimented. And grandma was not a bag of money that was going to spoil him rotten and give him everything he wanted. She gave him a lot, I found out. She bought that kid a laptop computer, a big screen TV, all kinds of stuff. But after the kid realized that grandma's pretty authoritative, disciplinary, didn't just let him run roughshod like he's able to do with mom down in Florida, because mom is off jet setting doing her job, and the kid was pretty much left to his own devices, which got him in trouble in the first place. He decided he didn't want to be with grandma anymore. He wanted to go back down to Florida and be spoiled by mommy. So he left. Well, that's when Mia unblocked me, unbeknownst to me. Didn't say anything. Just turned off the switch that had me blocked. This is what the Divus Succubus Mongoose Gold Digger user does as well. Yeah. I've discovered this by accident. She'll have me blocked for an extended period of time. That's called an avoidant in the psychiatric world. She'll have me blocked for an extended period of time, and then she'll be sitting in her dark room at night, half in the bag, horny, missing the great one. This guy, reflecting back on just how good she actually had it, how good she could have had it, and how I was literally the best thing that ever happened to her. And she'll go on her phone and turn off the switch and unblock me. But she won't reach out and start communicating. She just sits and waits. As a control freak dominant, she just sits and waits and hopes that I reach out to her. I inquire and I send a message. How you doing? How things? Because this has happened. I've done that in the past. And I don't do it now, but I've done that in the past. Checked in. And I'll see, nope, she still got me blocked. I can tell. And a couple days later, testing 1, 2, 3. Nope, still got me blocked. And then all of a sudden, bing, it goes through. The message goes through. She turned off the switch. And then she'll start interacting. But I came crawling to her. That's what she's thinking in her head. She didn't reach out to me to initiate conversation. So this is what Mia did. Just turned off the switch. Didn't communicate. Just opened up the portal to communication. So when this past Christmas came around, I sent out a Merry Christmas. Pretty sure that it was going to fall on deaf ears. But I did it. And whoop, it went through. And we started talking. And here we are. Now, she's made a big decision. She's given up a lot. I'm not giving up anything except this cozy little cabin that I built. And the wonderful fact that I will not be working out of our central Wisconsin location anymore. I'll be working out of our Northwoods location, which hopefully will have me not chasing around after DTR and the other miscreants in the crew putting on their parts. Although yesterday, DTR's parts were warranted and justified. Big time. And I made that correction. So yeah, this is a big move. Now, I often sit here and I'm curious. Back in the day, when she was down at the rehab center recovering from the stroke, she indicated 3 times, I would live with you in a box. If you've been with this channel for very long, you've heard me say this. And she had grand intentions of coming back from Florida, from the rehab center, and literally moving in here with me, cohabitating in the trailer. At that time, I had no plans for the future. I had no options for a future. My long-term plan was to continue soldering on remodeling this place, flipping it, selling it, making a profit, and using that money to get out of debt and possibly put a down payment on a cabin on a lake up in the Northwoods. Nothing nearly as nice as the lake house that dropped in my lap. Just a small 3-4 room cabin on a lake somewhere, and work on creating that into my palace, remodeling, etc., building a big garage, things like this. Doing it baby steps at a time. God knew my plan in my head, or I shouldn't say my plan, my desires, and he said, no. Here, have a major situation so that we can kickstart your dream for the rest of your days into motion. Here you go. And he eliminated a lot of bullshit and a lot of work and a lot of wasted time in creating what I want for my future by dropping something in my lap that's 3/4, if not 7/8 of the way already there. Right? Right. So I didn't have this. I had a dream, but a very slow tortoise way of achieving that dream. Well, here we are now. Mia comes back into the picture. Um, and I've got this lake house. So I've often sat here and wondered, is she quite possibly a gold digger? You know, she's asked me a couple of times, are you going to take care of me? Meaning monetarily, because she's saddled with this trust fund. She can't tap into the riches. But the difference between Mia and the diva succubus mongoose gold digger user is Mia wants to contribute. She wants to contribute with an attitude of servitude and respect and gratitude for the fact that I'm the one that got the lake house. I'm the one that'll be providing her the epic life into the future in the form of the lake house. And she wants to contribute any way, shape, or form that she can, even so much as this upcoming remodeling session where she's going to paint the house. She had been saving money from the Amish Mafia job, stashing it away, with a plan on buying new tires for her truck. She needs new tires. And saving money to pay her taxes on her house. Her house is paid off. So that means her tax payments for the property are not escrowed into anything and made automatically. She has to pony them up, just like I will have to do when the lake house is paid off, right? That's what she wanted. She's been squirreling away money to pay for these expensive things. Instead, she's going to take that money and dump it into paint for the lake house. She's going to contribute to the endeavor. Do you think the diva, succubus, mongoose, gold digger user would do this? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. She would take the opportunity of the lake house and a man that has come along, such as myself, she would take that opportunity as a chance to stop working altogether and freeload. Not make any money. Expect the man to provide everything and basically pay for his sex and pay for having a trophy wife on his arm when he has to go out into public with her, whether it's to an expensive supper club across the road for dinner or other places for dinner or entertainment, movies, whatever, concerts. Yeah. In exchange, he gets a hot-looking woman on his arm who's secretly talking to other men behind his back on her phone when he's not there, when he's out busting his ass 10, 12 hours a day working. And he gets to come home, more than likely not to a hot meal, because she would resent having to provide that for her husband. But since she's an nympho, he would get sex, and he would pay for his sex in a roundabout way. That's how the diva, succubus, mongoose, gold digger user would view the situation. But Mia is going to contribute financially and physically in any way, shape, or form that she can. So she's going to be spending several days up at the lake house painting all of these rooms upstairs. That's awesome. And now the Amish Mafia knows this. And they're not happy because she is a rock star. She is their star pupil. Yeah. She was hired as a driver. That's her job. Nothing more, nothing less. When she drives these people around, she actually physically helps them. So if they go to an auction, she helps them set up. At the end of the day, if they purchase some equipment, she helps them load it onto the trailer. Secure the load with chain binders and shit like that to the trailer, straps and whatnot. If she goes to a job site where the Amish crew, the younger boys, are building a house or building a barn or something like that, she's offloading construction materials. She's walking around the job site picking up after these slobs, picking up the wood scraps, garbage, paper, wrappers from insulation packages, things like this, and organizing it and cleaning and straightening up the job sites. She doesn't have to do that. It's not part of her job. Yes, she does it. So as far as the lake house goes, even if Mia, due to her trust fund handcuffs, can't contribute monetarily very much, she will contribute as much as she can. She will exhaust her funding, her meager funding that she gets, to help pay towards the cause, whether that's paying the light and gas bill, the cable bill, for groceries, materials for remodeling, whatever. She will do it. Not only that, she will put in the work. The diva? Nope. Nope. So, this is big. This is a big decision on Mia's part. And for her to not just keep her thoughts and her decisions in her head, but to actually voice them out loud to the Amish Mafia, that's a big move. Up until yesterday, they did not know anything about this. They didn't know that she was seeing somebody, because they kept asking her, how does a cute thing like you not have a boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. Other drivers have been hitting on her. She's hot. Yeah. So, this is a big move last night. Yeah, I was floored when she told me that. I was like, wow. So she's committed lock, stock, and barrel to the situation. So it's go time, folks. So while she's camping out up at the lake house, I'll be down here soldiering on the mission. Yeah. Mia will be doing on the renovation of the lake house. She will be doing what she's capable of doing and what she knows how to do and what she's actually good at. Painting. She painted the inside of her whole house. I'm happy with the results. And, yeah. Now, I'm not going to tell Mia down the road while I'm out working Monday through Friday, hey, there's a big stack of tongue and groove knotty pine boards sitting in the garage. Can you crack out the air compressor and the spray gun, and can you lay on 2 coats of honey blonde varnish on those, followed up by 3 top coats of polyurethane, and then can you install those on the wall in the hallway, or install those on the wall down in the lounge? Yeah, no. But I will let her have free reign on tasks and remodeling projects, something she can handle. She knows how to do. This will be a good thing. Yes. Double productivity. Pretty stoked, not going to lie. So that's just a hump day update here. Apparently, we got a one last ditch big snowstorm coming in. I don't know the possible accumulation amount, but that's happening starting today into tonight. This will be a good thing for my weed killer herbicide fertilizer application that I put on the lawn. When this melts and it percolates into the soil, that'll work good for that product. But it's also going to work very well for upcoming morel season, morel mushrooms. We get another several inches of snow that sit in the woods, and then they melt and percolate slowly into the soil. I got a feeling this year is going to be a pretty good year for morel mushrooms. Yep. So, like I said, I got to sit with the calendar here, and I gotta get some vacation so I can go partake of that very short season. I've been watching the woods as I've been driving around lately. Right now, seeing if conditions are right for the emergence of black morels and half-free morels, but I think we're still a little early on that. Those are the first ones to come up. Those will come up before there's even leaves on the trees. I'm trying to hearken back to years past when I've found these species. I haven't found any in years, but then again, I haven't gone out in the woods and looked for them this early in the season. They're the first ones to come up. They'll literally come up out of the ground even when there's still frost in the ground. And there was only one year that I found them by accident because I was eager and excited to start morel mushroom hunting, and I didn't know anything about it. I was learning. So I was going out into the woods way earlier than I should have been looking for yellow and gray morels, and I accidentally stumbled upon black and half-free morels. Yeah, I remember walking out of the woods with a half a bag of those guys once. By accident. Walked into didn't even know what trees to look under or anything. Walked into this grove of woods, looking around. That was when I was married. My wife was with me, and she's actually the one that found them. And I was getting frustrated because I wasn't finding anything. And we're standing there in this grove of aspen trees, and I'm trying to describe to her what these black morels look like, supposedly. And she looks down at the ground. She goes, "Do they look like these?" And she points in the ground, and there's like 15 of them right at our feet. We were standing in them. We didn't even know it. That's how well they blended in. I freaked out. So yeah, found them by accident, have never found them since, but then again, I've never gone out early enough in the year to hunt specifically for that species. This year, I'm going to do that. Yeah. So I've been scanning the woods as I've been driving around to see if possibly conditions are right, trying to remember back 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago when I found those, what the woods looked like at that time when I found them. Yeah. So that season's coming up. course, we got fishing. Yep, both trout and freshwater species. So, yeah, lots to look forward to. But a lot of work on the lake house and this place. Busy, busy, busy times. And Mia is going to be lessening the load for me, so I don't have to do it all by myself, which has been the mantra, been the pattern all the time, except for the time that Collie was in the picture. Collie was a godsend as far as establishing progress on this project. So, yeah. All right, little black box of misery time. Let's see what's in store for today. Hopefully I'm back up in the pickers where I belong. Doubt it, because DTR is still down in Florida, having a miserable time with the War Department, a.k.a. the Battle Axe, a.k.a. his wife, who's a straight-up psychopath. So we'll open up the little black box of misery and see what we got going on for today. Ugh. Yesterday when I was struggling with the smoking, right? I was talking about that in the video. After I got my smokes and after I started chain smoking like an altar boy, my whole attitude changed. That's what was weird. For me, personally, I didn't know that withdrawal, essentially, from a habit, essentially, a drug habit, would cause the reactions in me that it did. One of those adverse side effects was I was straight up not happy. I was straight up not taking enjoyment in my job in one of the very things that makes me happy here. Rebuilding refrigerators. That's my favorite thing to do here. And I noticed it because I notice little things. I notice patterns. And I noticed that I was unhappy, punchy, miserable, dejected. I had a feeling that I had nothing to look forward to. It's not good. Normally when I'm smoking and I'm in a good place, I am optimistic. I'm thinking of positive things all day long. I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to all the positive things that come along with this lake house, with getting back with Mia, future, things like that. I'm not thinking of anything negative. And yesterday, up until the point I was able to get my hands on some smokes, I was just doom and gloom and grumpy, and it was bad. As soon as I got some smokes in me, it was like a switch flipped. Right away. Wassa. Oh, back out to the east. Oh, back out to the east. Back to Wassa. And then the last call, way up in the pickers. Of course, the last call when the snowstorm is going to be at the worst. FML. And that's where the worst of it is hitting, is up north. Just bullshit. Alright, first call. Diagnostic out of warranty on a washing machine, a front load washing machine. That when it's in the spin cycle, makes a lot of rumbling. I know what this is. No matter what size load, rumbles and rattles very loudly, smells like something is burning or hot. E13 error code. Purchased in 2014, out of warranty. I will be able to talk this customer out of sticking large amounts of money at this machine, because I'm pretty sure that the rear spin basket bearing has failed. Expensive rebuild. Next call. Tray that catches the ice fell and broke. Not sure what's going on with it. Please inspect to see what's needed to repair. DTR was out there. Needs an ice maker. Alright, I saw that in the tote yesterday. That's an easy one. Let's see. Dryer portion will not work. Will not let customers select dry cycle either. What is this? Oh no. Oh no. This is one of those frickin' brand new, all-in-one, ventless washer dryer combo units. This is the latest thing now. They've come out with a machine that is a combination front load washing machine and dryer. No need for a separate appliance, a separate dryer. The washing machine washes the clothes, and then the unit also will dry them. These freaking things are rocket ships. They actually have refrigeration systems in them to do the drying. Yep. Oh boy. It's a GE, so I can plug in my Newfie tool and let it do the work. Alright, here's one. A refrigerator. Still freezing food in the crisper drawers. It's a 60-90 repeat. DTR was out here throwing parts at it. Oh, this is his problem child that he's been talking about weeks ago. I put in a sensor. Yep. I spliced in a sensor for this thing. Customer calls in and says it's still freezing food in the crisper drawers. So that's a diagnostic. That's probably calling a tech line. Gotten to the point now where it's out of our hands. Alright, what's the one way up in the pickers? Safety range knobs can't shut the gas off. What brand is this? A Whirlpool. This is a Whirlpool dispatch right from the factory. So apparently this model of gas stove, this is a phenomenon that happened with gas stoves recently. It was real easy to turn on the burners. In other words, if you had a over-the-range microwave above your stove, you could lean up, and you were short, you could lean up against the stove to reach into your microwave up over the top and literally turn on the burners and start your shirt on fire. It happened to a lady. Yep. So manufacturers have realized, oh shit, 4-year-old can come along and push on that burner and click, 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 woof, it lights. A dog. As a matter of fact, there's a video on YouTube of a dog starting a house on fire by doing this. The people made a pizza. They had it sitting on top of the cooktop of the stove, cooling down. The dog smelled it. This was caught on security camera, on CCT camera, a nanny cam. The dog stood on its hind legs to try to get at the pizza, pushed up against the valves for the burners, and one of them rotated, and ignited one of the burners under the pizza, sitting on its cardboard, started the cardboard on fire, which then in turn started stuff on fire around and the house burned down. So manufacturers have decided that, yeah, we better put a safety valve or safety device on the burners valves so that you can't just push up against them and fire up the cooktop. Apparently there's some problems with those knobs. Now, I'll pretty much guarantee I know what it is. The knobs themselves probably have the shaft that comes off the gas valve that the knob slides onto is shaped like a half moon design. And if the customer is not aware of how that safety valve works, you have to push it into a certain point and then rotate it before it'll spark. They will force. They'll try to, and they'll round out the inside of the knob so that it doesn't fit over the half moon shaped shaft that comes out. And they'll strip out the knob, and now it'll just turn like this, and it won't turn the valve. That's probably what's going on. So anyway, all right. Time to refill the coffee. Continue chain smoking like an altar boy. Be happy, positive, optimistic of my future, and very grateful and happy and content that Mia has made the big decision to be with me, marry me, cohabitate at the lake house, and skip off into the sunset together. My dad contacted me last night, one last quick thing, about a church up there in the Pickers that we're going to be living in, that he's done some research on. Northwoods Bible Church or something like this. He says it would be a good option for our way of thinking. He actually has a friend, a longtime family friend that I grew up with, that was one of the teachers that he worked with at the high school back when he was up here teaching at one of the local high schools. So I knew this man, this gentleman, since I was a wee little kid. He was one of the other science teachers. He too is playing on Team Jesus. He's a white lighter. He's the one that recommended this church because he has some friends of his own that actually live up in the Pickers and go to this church. My dad reached out to him to find out a recommendation for a church, a brick and mortar church that Mia and I can start attending because she wants to do this. Me, I'm perfectly content to watch my churches on YouTube. Mia actually wants to physically go to a church, a brick and mortar, and so I tasked my dad with doing the legwork and the research to make a recommendation, and he did so, and this friend of the family has offered to take us, to accompany us for our first couple of visits to this particular church, and introduce us to his friends who actually live in the area and are attending this church so that we can establish some connections and some friends right away out of the gate, so that we are accepted into the club. It's awful hard to go to a new church for the first time, not know anybody, feel kind of uncomfortable because you're a stranger. We'll have some. We'll get a foot in the door, so that's a good thing. So, one of these Sundays coming up, Mia and I will do this, so we can get some good, wholesome white lighter friends who are playing on Team Jesus. More of them, instead of the demons that I've been swimming around in the cesspool with for the last several years as friends, quote unquote, when all they want to do is hurt me if they don't get their way. So Yeah, change it up. That'll be a good thing. All right, talk to you soon.